Hi, it's me. I'm in my polytunnel still. I just wanted to bring you along and show you this. Now, this is my system, and I've kind of copied it off other people's. There's a brilliant bloke called Rob Bob's Backyard Aquaponics that he does in Australia, and it's partly based on his. And it was just different ideas that I put together to build my system, and so I did, and I built it out of bathtubs, as you can see. But what I wanted to show you is this is my fish tank. And what I do is I feed the fish. And I feed the fish food. And when they poop and when they breathe out through their gills, they produce ammonia. And the ammonia-rich water is sucked up through that black pipe over there. And it goes up through, and it will go into every bathtub. Well, it does at the minute anyway, but each of the pipes goes in. There's a worm bin in here, so that takes that one out. But each of them goes in, and it goes into each of the beds, and it just trickles a little bit. And it trickles into the bathtub, and it just keeps it topped up. And eventually they'll all have a bell siphon in, and they'll all initiate. I had 3 out of 5 or something going before. Excuse me, burping. I had 3 out of 5 going before, but for some reason they're not. But it doesn't matter. I've got enough on as it is. So this one up here was initiating earlier, along with one of the one up at the very end as well. So the ammonia-rich water comes out of the fish tank down the end there, and it comes up through this black pipe, and it runs into each of the media beds. These are the media beds, and this is the media. And I went for clay pebbles because it's one of the more neutral things, with a neutral pH. And the ammonia-rich water will run into the bathtub, and it'll fill the bathtub up. And in here, there's a bell siphon, and the water will fill up to a certain point. And then it'll overflow the bell siphon, which runs into the floating raft bed. But the ammonia-rich water that runs into here through this tap here fills the bed up, and as it empties out, it draws oxygen down through the gravel as well, and so the bacteria builds up inside the gravel bed, and the nitrification process happens. So the ammonia-rich water goes in. The bacteria breaks it down and turns the ammonia from ammonia to nitrite and then to nitrate, which is water soluble, which runs into the floating raft bed to feed the lettuces. And it does so, and the lettuces absorb it through the water, and then they grow on the floating raft beds. And then the water runs down through into the next one, and the next bed, they absorb the nitrates as well, because the water's coming out of the beds further down as well. And then once the plants have absorbed the nitrates out of the water is then clean water, and it goes back through this pipe down here, which bypasses my fish pond down here. But it goes down through into this pipe, which feeds these strawberries, and then it goes back into the fish tank where the water is clean, where it goes back round and is recycled again, and the fish poop and all that sort of thing goes through the pipe into the bathtubs, through the process into the floating raft beds. Water's recycled, it's cleaned all the time, and it's a closed loop system. So the only thing that you're putting into it is the fish food, and the fish food makes the fish poop, and then that's what's feeding the system, you see. And the idea is that I've got goldfish for now, but I wanted to do tilapia because you can eat the fish then, but for now it's all right to do goldfish, although I think that it's a bit too hot, the water. I think lettuce grow at the best temperature is about 22, and it's about 30 or something at the minute. It's ridiculously hot in here. I've got all the fans going. I'm just trying to cool the place down, and it won't really cool it down because it's just 1 billion degrees, but it's making all the plants grow ever so nice, and I've got lots of flowers out and things like that. So I just wanted to show you the aquaponics system. It is on all the time now, continuously. Like I say, I've just come up in the morning and I check the solar panels, the charge controller and all that sort of thing. and that's all I do really. I make sure all the taps are going, do water all the plants when I first come in the morning. I give them a good soaking, which kind of starts the bell siphons initiating, and then I go away and leave them, or I get on and plant some more, or I do some more chores up here, and then I leave it and come back in the evening, check it again, feed the fish, top up the fish tanks if they need topping up, shut the door, and that's it really. And then it's all locked up for the night, and it gets eight hours of darkness at the minute, and then hopefully the sun comes out tomorrow morning nice and early, and it starts charging the battery again so that the system can continuously run. So that's what's going on there. I just wanted to explain about the aquaponics system. It's not me just floating a bunch of lettuces on the pond. It's got to kind of go through a process. And as I say, if you want to watch Rob Bob's Backyard Aquaponics, he's an Australian dude with a big beard, and he's absolutely brilliant, and he's got a fantastic system. He's been doing it for years, and he shows how to build a proper system. And you know, I just thought anyone can have a go at it, and so I'm having a go at it. I've got 240 lettuces in there growing at the minute. And hopefully they're going to grow well, although as I say, I think the system's a bit hot, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm hoping that everything else will grow in the media beds, and I'm going to bring you along and show you and all that sort of thing as it goes. So yeah, check out Rob Bob's Backyard Aquaponics as well, and he'll show you a better description of the nitrogen cycle and what bell siphons are actually supposed to do. He does really good ones. So I'm going to have another go. I've got a friend who's a plumber coming to have a look at the solar, so I'll get him to have a look at the pipe work and all that sort of thing as well. Anyway, nice one. Hope everyone's well. Cheers.